Alright guys, so this is Mr. Risk every time. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel every time. For the people who are joining, guys, it has been quite long, guys. We are back again strongly, guys. For today's video, we are talking about the trend lines. It is the continuation of the price action trading strategy, and for today's video will be just specific talking about the trade line. So as there is a video on that is we know this is the technical part of it, guys. So we have theory part of it of the technical analysis that on the price action, talking about the trend line. For today's video, I will be just discussing about the trend lines on the technical chart, on the real chart, and how to identify them and how they aid in my best of the best trading strategy every time. All right, guys, so let me take you back. Let's go to the chart and take some examples and look right about the trend lines. All right, as we talk, what's the trend line? Let me give you just a minute. Ask yourself, what is a trend line? So this the trend line. These are indicators of the price action traders that are used to show the direction of the market. So the trend line, they show the trend if there is an uptrend, a raging market, or a downtrend. Right, so under this I will just take an example. Let's start with the downtrend. And how do we draw a trend line? So let's take an example of a down. So for example, let me just analyze it briefly. What I mean, let me just analyze it, guys. So all right, so let's take an example of a downtrend, right? So a downtrend, when we are saying that market it is a downtrend, it is meaning that the market is moving down like this, right? So the market is moving down like that, right? So the market is forming what we call lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, etc., etc., like that. All right, so when I'm speaking for a trend line, it is a line collecting the point. For example, when I'm talking about the trend line, let me just yes, finish up. When I'm talking about the trend line, it is the line that is connecting this point here. Let me just this point here, this point, this point, this point, and this point, and this point, right? So when I draw this line here, that is what we call a trend line. This is an example of a downtrend trend line. This is a line connecting the point. It is connecting this point, the next point, the next point, the next point. Now, how does this trend line help you, right? So, for example, the trend line shows the direction. For example, in this trend line, let's say that you are forex trader and you are day trader. If you are day trader, just focus on M30 or that is a 1 hour chart, right? Because I'm a day trader, I usually to use the that is my time frame that I use most of the times. So I will go and look the chart like that, right? So this is an example of a down trade. All right, so this is an example of it. All right, so I will go and take you to the real chart and show you now how the real is. So in an uptrend, it is the opposite of it, guys. So this lane is what I'm speaking about, right? So let's go to the real chart, right? So in the real chart, sometimes you need to enlarge it very keenly so that you can look it very keenly and very closely, so that you can just make we call it we may you can just make a very nice decision when you are trading about it. Like, let me just take an example of a downtrend of a very clean. Let's find a very clean downtrend here. This is a very example of a very clean trend, right? So all right, so that this is an example of a downtrend, right? So let me just enlighten it, right? So I will come to these symbols here. Let's come to the symbols. All right, so the trend line, it is slant, right? Most of the time it's a slant one. Let's just highlight it. So we want to connect the point, right? So we connect this point with the next point, with the next point, with the next point, like that. So this is an example of a trend line. This is a very nice one. So meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning this is an downtrend where the market is forming. Let me just enlight it very well. So this is a trend line. This is a very nice trend line showing that the market is moving down. For example, if you want now, most of the times when the market is it is this point, there is the next point, there is this point, there is this point, there is this point. So as a forex trader, if you want to to trade, just you will come and see, yes, the market has tapped this point, you know, the market will tap this point. Now you cannot trade at this one. You will just wait for the market to come and tap this lane, then you place your sell on the at this place, then the market moves down, and that is how we trade it, right? So there is many examples, etc, etc, guys. This is an example of an uptrend, right? So let me just take you, right? So this is an example of an uptrend. Look, it is a very clean one, right? So the market is moving down, right? So where when the market is right, so when the market is moving up like that, right, it is connecting this point here, as you can see, right? So the market is connecting this point, this point, this point. All right, so when the market is like that, when the market taps here and taps here, the then place you will wait for the it to tap this line, you take your buy under at this place. And these are how we look the trend lines most of the time, guys. This is Mr. Risky every time. Remember to change up, trend wisely every time. All right.